Grizzly's birthday in November, and Grandma got him a card, and in that card was $5, and I don't know any dog ever that has his own $5, so we're going to go spend it. Grizz, what do you want to spend your money on? Bacon? Hey Grizz, I'm pretty sure they do bacon here. I reckon you reckon that too. Grizzly, is this like the best $4 investment you've ever made? Because I reckon that is definitely the best $4 investment you've ever made. I mean, like, that thing is just loaded with grease. Here you go. Yeah. Wipe the grease on your coat. It's alright, we won't tell Mum. That makes these about $1.30 a piece, Grizzly. Yeah, good investment. Just gonna tear the last bit of bacon in half, so it's $1 a piece. Bit more economic. So greasy. Grizzly, Grizzly, Grizzly. Last bit, mate. Yeah, last bit. What are you going to do with your last dollar? Grizzly never got to spend that last dollar. Monday afternoon, whilst out gold prospecting, Grizzly ate an illegally placed 1080 poison bait designed specifically to kill wild dogs, foxes and cats. This is under investigation by the relevant authorities. Monday evening he collapsed in our backyard, desperately trying to run away from the poison that took him. He fought so valiantly over the next 20 hours, only to pass away at 2:30 p.m. on Tuesday. He waited for us to get to the vets to say goodbye, and I said to him that he was allowed to go, that he didn't have to stick around in pain anymore, and he went on his own terms. We didn't have to give his body any more poison. I felt his heartbeat slow and stop. He stopped breathing, and he was gone. On Tuesday, Zoe and I lost a son. He was my son. He saved me, literally saved me from committing suicide due to PTSD symptoms I was experiencing at the time. And he continued to save me every day since then. In the last few days we've been able to reflect on some of the things that Grizzly had given us over the time that we got to spend with him. He taught us lessons that I don't think we would have learned at the same rate as if he wasn't in our lives. Compassion, kindness were at the forefront of his being. You hear people say pets are like family. I never viewed Grizzly as a pet. He was always my son. He was a person. People confuse the word person with human. But person is an adaptation of personality, and Grizzly had bucket loads of personality. Even the non-dog lovers that he got to meet, he quickly won over. The last few days have been all about remembering what he was about, what brought us joy. I have moments of utter devastation and sadness and flashbacks to the horrific things that happened to him when he died. But I also have flashbacks to some of the most joyous moments I have ever experienced. Simple things like his trade ball, a ball that he would use to trade with you. It was his money. He would give it to you in exchange for the thing that you had. That might have been a seat on the couch. The most recent memorable one was a mandarin that I had that he desperately wanted, so he brought his trade ball in from outside and gave it to me and asked me for the mandarin, and he ran around the whole house with the mandarin for hours barking at it. He loved that. He worked out how to barter. That's not all he worked out how to do. He loved rocks. He loved rocks because he watched me. Ever since I got him home as a tiny puppy, he would follow me around and copy what I was doing. So when it came to prospecting, he would roll rocks out of the creek, and not just any rock, he would roll rocks out that stood out, that were different to the rocks that were surrounding that one that he had chosen. When I was detecting, he'd find a big long stick. Every time, guaranteed, he'd find a big long stick, and he would run around with it back and forth, up and down, wherever we were detecting, copying me. He was out there with his detector. I could go on and on and on and on about all the stories I've got of Grizzly, and I know many of my subscribers who met him in real life and virtually have stories of their own. If you have a story about Grizzly, I would love to read some of them. Please put them in the comments below. As you can imagine, we've been inundated with ideas for memorials, condolences, and I thank everyone for getting in contact with me. There are literally tens of thousands of messages, and I cannot physically get back to all of them, and I'm finding it very difficult at this point in time to read and write back to them. Mick put it so eloquently that Vo-Gus prospecting was as much Grizzly's project as it was mine, because the original idea behind it was to share my gold prospecting adventures because I was recovering from PTSD. And the two things that helped me recover from PTSD was gold mining and Grizzly together. I don't want to end Vo-Gus prospecting. That's not going to happen. I have 12 more videos on my laptop, or maybe even more, with Grizzly in them. I'm going to take some time to grieve and some time off from the goldfields, but I'm going to publish those videos so we can continue to enjoy Grizzly for the next little while. And when the time's right, I'll hit the goldfields again and start producing new content with the continued aim to support people going through what I'm going through now. Great suffering, PTSD, anxiety, depression, bipolar, and other mental illnesses, or mental injuries as we call them, need the support that Grizzly gave me. He armed me with those skills and made me strong to be able to pass them on to people like possibly you watching right now. There's going to be updates on Grizzly in the future in terms of what we're doing for a memorial, because he had such an influence on so many people, and I know because I've got the emails to show it that he has saved lives, not only mine but people all over the world. I'm also asking people if they want to send me a rock chosen specially by you for Grizzly. And we're going to add these to some sort of memorial in the near future. Please don't make it a big rock. The postal service might flip out. My PO box is in the description below. So I wanted to say thank you to everyone who sent us messages. Zoe and I are both hurting like we've never hurt before. They mean a lot to us. And I apologise if I can't get back to you. And I wanted to say a big goodbye to my son, to my best mate, who I will never forget, and who I will take the lessons he gave me into the future. Thanks, buddy. Dad's gonna miss you. What are you doing, Moo? Site supervisor? You just showing me this rock? Yeah. You're just curious. You see, the second I put the camera on, you're like, nah, I'm gonna play coy.